Millennia after Corax's disappearance, the moon he liberated stands watch over the Forsar sector. Named Deliverance, it is as bleak and cheerless as the face the Primarch commonly wore for all save his closest comrades, and it serves as the fortress world and stronghold for his foremost inheritors. The homeworld of the Raven Guard is the moon Deliverance, which orbits the industrial planet Kiavar. Now a rare bastion of solace from the horrors of the galaxy, Deliverance was once known as Lycaeus, a prison moon whose enslaved population toiled beneath the tyrannical gaze of the tech guilds of Kiavar. To Lycaeus were sent not only criminals and malcontents, but any citizens who fell foul of the guildmasters or failed to meet Kiavar's exacting production quotas. Whether sentenced to labor in the force domes on the moon's airless surface or condemned to the dark depths of its mineral mines, it was a banishment from which none returned. But when the infant Corvus Corax was found beneath Lycaeus's glacial surface, the fate of its people changed forever. Sensing something miraculous in their discovery, the slaves of Lycaeus raised the young Primarch in secret, naming him the Deliverer. As Corax grew quickly into his prime, the name proved fitting. He masterminded a campaign of insurrection that overthrew the hated Kiavaran overlords and broke the power of the tech guilds once and for all. In the aftermath, Kiavar bent its knee to the growing Imperium, and Lycaeus was renamed Deliverance in Corax's honor. Visited in person by the Emperor of Mankind, Corax learnt of his true identity as a Primarch and received command of the Raven Guard Legion created in his image. The dark tower on Deliverance that once housed Kiavaran oppressors, Corax took for his own, renaming it the Ravenspire. Thus did the Raven Guard at last know a home beyond the trackless void, a home they have defended ever since. Unlike many chapters, the Raven Guard share close ties with the peoples from whom they recruit. The chapter has long drawn on the technological resources of Kiavar and Deliverance, adapting many standard template constructs to suit their needs. In return, Raven Guard emissaries oversee the training of the local defense forces at the Blackchine Redoubts, a linked network of trench lines, skyfire batteries and fortresses that encircle the mining complexes and spaceports nestled on Deliverance's dark side. Though unaugmented humans cannot hope to match the combat prowess of space marines, the shadow tactics of the Raven Guard are easily adapted to the lesser troops of Deliverance. The design of the Blackchine Redoubts capitalizes on this fact, featuring a veritable maze of hidden strongpoints, secret approaches and false ramparts that allow their defenders to outmaneuver the foe without giving away their own positions. Such defenses help to ensure that any force invading Deliverance would pay a heavy price in blood. This is well, as the Forsar sector in which Deliverance is located has faced many threats, from the orcs of Wag Garagak to splinters of the re-emergent Hive Fleet Kraken. The danger has only increased since the opening of the Great Rift, and the need for vigilance has never been greater. The Ravenspire is the fortress monastery of the Raven Guard, its towering pinnacles forming a stronghold as formidable as any found in the Segmentum Tempestus. Yet when Corax first claimed the venerable keep, he found its defenses to be rotten and neglected. Drawing on tributes from the surviving tech guilds and a new influx of imperial resources, Corax restored the Ravenspire as an adamantine bastion, bristling with weaponry fit to engage an entire war fleet. More than a declaration of military might, the fortress became a symbol of the hope Corax had brought to the Kiavar system, a hope that came to define the Raven Guard themselves. Alas, with the grinding of millennia, that hope has faded, much as Corax himself has all but passed into legend, and the Ravenspire's appearance echoes this malaise. Its redoubts remain inviolable, but their splendor has dulled. Towers that once shone like silver now stand corroded and brooding, and its cavernous halls and training grounds once used by thousands of battle brothers now seldom harbor more than a few hundred. Whole sections of the Ravenspire lie shrouded in dust, or else are sealed away, patrolled only by robed servitors, whose bionic limbs scrape through the corridors like a warrior's death rattle. To walk in such places is to feel the presence of something distant and inexpressibly greater than oneself. Doors open and close seemingly without command. Lumen-lit shrines gutter to darkness, and the stale air clogs one's lungs. It tempts to life the rumors that the fortress itself is a thing alive, its functions guided by some ancient and arcane machine spirit birthed out of old night. Thank you so much for watching. If you are enjoying this video, please consider subscribing. It really does make a difference. We continue. But to view the Ravenspire as a decaying relic of better days would be folly. Its tarnished walls are as strong as they ever were, and its weapon batteries still promise swift death to any who would face their fury. If the fortress monastery appears outwardly faded, it is because the Raven Guard spare no thought for pomp and display. Not for them the gleaming statues, ale-sodden sagas, or self-congratulatory honours of other chapters. Function is all, and as a training ground, stronghold and vessel of their Primarch's legacy, the Ravenspire performs every function the sons of Corax ask of it. The tallest tower of the Ravenspire is known as the Aerie. It was in this lofty roost that Corax made his private quarters, and few have ventured there since the Primarch left Deliverance, never to be seen again. For a full year before his departure, Corax kept himself sealed in the Aerie, seeking absolution for the genetic horror he had unleashed upon his sons. Though it is seldom spoken of within the chapter, he was wild by the end, broken by grief and guilt. Raven Guard tradition has it that Corax ultimately found his redemption in the shifting wastes of the Eye of Terror, but the veracity of this tale remains unproven. Few possess authority and courage enough to disable the Aerie's stasis fields and tread its dusty halls, and the lords of the chapter do so only at times of dire need, hoping to commune with an echo of Corax's departed spirit. It is impossible to say whether such an echo lingers, but all agree that a brooding presence seems to infuse the Aerie. Of what guidance they do receive, no supplicant speaks, nor do they recount the contents of the parchments scattered about the Aerie's main chamber, saying only that they are inked with a thick black scrawl that becomes increasingly illegible as the verses themselves grow less coherent in meaning. In a labyrinth of mining tunnels deep beneath the Ravenspire lies the old apothecarian from the days of the heresy. It was here that Corax's attempts to expedite the regrowth of his legion reached their full horror, birthing mutated abominations. When the Primarch at last realized the terrible depths of his hubris, he ordered the apothecarian abandoned and forbade all further experimentation. Then he entered its forbidden reaches alone, and personally brought the Emperor's judgment to each and every twisted failure therein. Corax then ordered all records destroyed, but it is said that he emerged from his final visit a changed man, as if a piece of his soul had been ripped away for each creation he killed. The chambers were purged with holy fire, its doors sealed shut and a new facility instated elsewhere. Yet the fallout of the Primarch's deeds endures in the old facility, the stain of torment and betrayal ushering forth dark things from beyond reality's veil. On Far Moon Night, when Deliverance reaches its yearly apogee over Kiava, bestial howls echo through the tunnels of the old apothecarian, and veterans of the Raven Guard First Company guard its doors. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing and leaving a comment below.